Okay, so just hold on. Okay, now now today we have okay. So now today we are already on 17th of December 2020, right? So it has already been a very horrible year this time this year, but still, see, if you are looking at your prelims examination, then also you are having almost 6 months to go, right? Now, in this 6 months, I can assure you that if even if you have not yet started your preparation, and if you are going to start your preparation because your prelims is on 27th of June, so today is 17th of December, okay, and your prelims is on 27th of June. So it means you have complete January, or you can say half December, complete January, complete February, complete March, complete April, complete May, and almost complete June. So what you are having at your hand is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Now this period of 6 months, it is a it is an exceptionally big period, or I should say that it is that period which actually which is actually required for your examination, right? In fact, once if you have finished your syllabus, then for prelims only 3 months need to be given. So here Unacademy is bringing to you a complete strategy by using which you can not only clear your prelims within this period of 6 months, but also you can target to clear your mains or finally having a selection in UPSC Civil Services exams for this year, right? So, what should be the strategy? Now, see, you are having these 6 months. Unacademy have started a special batch for those students who are targeting exam this year, and particularly those who are, because of any such reason, those who have not, those who were not able to prepare very much for their examinations, right? Now, see how to make a best use of these 6 months. Now, what you can do is in these 6 months, prepare your GS from prelims as well as mains point of view. For this much, the batch has already been started on 14th of December. You can join that batch. It is to be 14th, 15th of December. A number of batches have been started, which I am telling you just now. So if you are joining this batch, then you are covering your general studies not only from prelims point of view, but also from mains point of view. Why? Because majority of the syllabus, I can tell you that 90% of the syllabus of your GS, okay, 90% of your syllabus of your GS is same for prelims as well as mains. Although the approach is different, right? Although your approach is different, but questions have been asked in prelims from that part also, which is largely covered in mains and not in your prelims examination. So what you can do, you can prepare complete GS syllabus, and along with that, prepare your ethics also. Along with that, prepare your ethics also. So what would be left? Only your optional subject would be left, and this optional subject you can definitely prepare in the intervening period between your prelims and main. So that would be an appropriate strategy if you are using of joining this batch and going through your GS parts of prelims and mains during these 6 months. That would help you in your prelims also, and completing your ethics, that would hardly take 1.5 months, and then opting for your option subject just after you or right after your prelims. So this should be the strategy, and I think this is the only way out. In case if you have already finished your syllabus, then also you can join this batch so that you can brush up your GS concept for prelims as well as mains, right? Chaliye. Now, so this is the same thing which I have told you. This is your examination date here. That is 27th of June 2021. Now, around 10 lakh, around 10 lakh aspirants are there every year. Yeah, this much I think you are knowing, around 10 lakh aspirants are there who are aspiring for this exam every year. And out of these 10 lakh, I think some odd 11 or 12,000 they are going to make it to prelims, and out of those around mm, 3,000 or so, and 2,500 or around 3,000 they are going to clear mains, and finally around 1,900 or 1,000 candidates they are going to make it to the final list, including your waiting list. Now what can make a difference between these two? How you can stand out of the crowd of these 10 lakh? Because out of these 10 lakh, almost around 4.5 to 5 lakh are actually appearing in the examination. Now see, whether it is UPSC, whether it is your SSC or any other given examination, because of my owing to my experience of around 20 years in teaching field, one thing I can assure you, that the actual competition which you are having is not of these 4 5 lakh or of these 10 lakh. The actual competition is only in above 20% of the candidates. The actual competition is only here. Rest of them, they are simply filling up the form to give up the exam. They have neither prepared and nor they are prepared to clear the examination. So your actual competition lies in around, I should say, only 1 lakh of the candidates and not 4 5 lakh as it appears to be. Okay, so this is your data. This much around candidates are filling up the form. They are actually giving up the examination. They are actually clearing up your prelims. They are actually appearing for interview, and this is the final list. Those who are making it to it. Now, what what can be the means? Excuse me for that noise, that background noise. So what can be your strategy for this? Okay, so if you are 27 years plus, then you must have that exit strategy. Means you are having only two attempts to go, and after those two attempts it would be very problematic for you, and you must have plan B. Okay, if you are still below 27 years, then you are having lot of time to experiment, work on your strong basics and whatsoever. But in a nutshell, I can tell you, take subscription of an academy, come to an academy, join that batch. Here you are being served, uh, means or before that, for this prelims or your mains, you have to cover 20 odd subjects, around 100 books. Okay, 11 examination, and you are having very limited time. Now what you can do in those 6 months, how you can maximize your time of these 6 months? So for that, an academy has come up with a champions batch. Now, as the name suggests, this batch is actually made to bring out the champion in you. It is a 6 month GS batch, which would be having a complete course for UPSC CSE. Okay, the batch would be in English, Hindi, and bilingual also, and it has started on 15th of December. So already, I think a day or two classes have been missed, and what you can do, you can go through the recording series. That would be beneficial. Now complete GS prelim syllabus would be there, prelims test series is there. Okay, then live classes of more than 500 hours is there, free PDF study material, structured schedule, so that you can finish. You are not only finishing your syllabus, you are finishing it in the most systematic way, so that lesser number of revisions are required. Doubt clearing session, since I am also a plus educator, so this thing I can tell you, that very regular doubts clearing sessions we are taking, and obviously the classes will be taken by India's top educators, because this champions batch, it is the most what I should say crucial batch, not only for you but also for an academy, because we have been training you, we have been preparing you throughout the year, and now it is the final time for your preparation. You would be having the services of teachers like Mr. Mrinal Patel. I don't think anybody needs introduction of this guy. Then Dr. Siddharth Arora, one of the most famous, most dynamic, and most dashing educators on an academy platform, Mr. Anuj Garg. Him I know personally, a very down to earth type of person and a very great master of Indian history. Along with that, as I have told you, there would be three batches, one for bilingual. Okay, one batch that is Lux for Hindi medium students, and one is Expedition for 2021. That this batch would be purely in English medium, right? So the 6 month batch is there. Course for UPSC CSE Prelims. It starts on 14th of December. These all the features I have already told you, right? So if you are not having subscription, please come on the platform, have subscription. Although if you are not having app, then you can do one thing. You can simply download that app from Google Play Store. Okay. After downloading that app, you have to go for some basic registration work like your registration of your mobile number, followed by registration of your email ID. Okay. Now, after this registration, you can access all of the free material. Free material includes all the special classes taken by all the top educators. It includes all the test series, including that Unacademy Combat, which is going to be one of the India's largest online test series, or you can include offline also, one of the largest test series where you will be having a ranking of your prelims means in in, uh, in the candidate of lakhs of numbers. If it asks for some that code, then you can simply use code Amit Yadav Foundation. You can simply use the code Amit Yadav Foundation, and after using it costs you nothing. It's totally free. After using this code, what you would be having, you would be able to access to all the free material, which comprises of all the special classes, which comprises of all the test series, and all the free material like Unacademy Articulate, all the free material you can get access simply by downloading the app, going for some basic registration, and using this code Amit Yadav Foundation. You would be able to access to all the free material. Okay, so these batches are there. Similarly, a batch for 2022 is there, a bilingual batch is there, a Hindi medium batch is there, that is Lakshya, and a purely English medium batch is also there, that is Expedition 2022, right? Full syllabus coverage would be there. Actually, this batch would be for prelims and mains both. PDF study material, prelims test series, classes will be taken by top educator, dedicated doubt clearing classes would be there, and interview preparation would also be there. Similarly, long-term batch for those who are students who have passed out their 12th class and they aspire to be in civil services, or for that matter undergraduates. For them, we are an academy is offering a 2023 batch, means batch for UPSC 2023. Okay, so one batch would be bilingual, one batch would be in Hindi, and one batch would be in English, right? Because you might think that you are having time, you are still an undergraduate or something like that, but believe me, time flies away. You know, you won't even realize when the time has gone. So again, the features of the batch, it has started on 14 December only. The leftover classes you can go through recorded classes, and educators they used to revise also. So no need to panic there. Features again would be same, full syllabus coverage, classes will be taken by top educators, prelims test series with analysis in what all topics you are scoring less, so that in the final hours of your preparation, you can put more emphasis on those topics where you have not fared that much well in your test series, right? Then PDF study material would be there, dedicated doubt clearing sessions are there, interview preparations, all these features would be there. Okay, so now what you so at the end of the day, what you are having a 6 month batch for prelims 2021. You are having a long term batch for your prelims and mains 2022, and also for undergraduates you are having a batch of 2023. So all these three batches have been started, recently, right? All these three batches, right? And yeah, so and all these three batches they are on bilingual, which I personally won't suggest, because if you are going for some bilingual batch, then it will be problematic for you to take your mains examination. So whatever your medium, whether it is Hindi or English, try to improve your language so that you can express yourself in a better way in an examination hall, right? One batch would be bilingual, one batch would be in English medium, and one batch would be in totally Hindi medium. So that was my suggestion from my side. Rest is up to you. You can choose any of the batches as you wish. Okay. No need to mention, classes will be taken by India's best educators like Mr. Manal Patel, Sudarshan Gurjar, Dr. Siddharth Arora, Ayush Sanghi, Dipanshu Singh, Snehil Tripathi, Madhugar Kotave, Atish Mathur, Arti Chhawdi, Ranganathan SVN Kondala, Anuj Garg, Arti Mishra, Rakesh Verma, who himself is an ex-IAS officer of Rajasthan Cadre, Mr. Avdesh Singh, ex-IRS officer, ex-commissioner, Mudit Gupta, Nitin Shivare, Pratik Nayak, Shraddha Tripathi, Sunil Singh, Prakash Kumar, and many more too. There are around 150 educators who are there on Unacademy platform teaching in UPSC category. Okay, just imagine 150 educators are there for each and every subject. You are having multiple educators. If you are not getting, not satisfied with my type of communication, if you're not satisfied with my classes, you can simply opt for some other educator. Means I think this facility is provided only and only by the Unacademy and nobody else, where you are having so many multiple of the educators. Suppose for geography, although Sudarshan Gurjar, champion of geography, one of very good friends of mine, but if you're not satisfied in case with this class, you are having options. In first instance, it is not possible that you would not be satisfied. But what happens in means I had been a student, so I have been in classes. So if means suppose five faculties are there, four are good, I am not satisfied with one, then I don't have any choice. I have to go with that person also. But here you are having choice, right? Okay. Now, how to get subscription? Simply download the app, go for some basic registration, and after like your mobile number and email ID, post that you can use code. You can use code Amit Yadav Foundation, right? By using this code, you would be able to access all the free material. So go for 2 3 days to the special classes, and I don't think there is any reason that you won't be satisfied. So once you are satisfied with the special classes, you can join any batch by taking subscription. So there is plus subscription as well as iconic subscription. So I'm telling you about plus subscription now, and about iconic I will be telling you after the classroom, right? So for 6 months it would be costing you 40,500. But uh, if during the process of subscription you are using this code Amit Yadav Foundation, that is written here also. It is also my Telegram group. You can join me there also. So if you are using this code, you would be getting an instant 10% off, and your fee became 36,450. And if you're taking for 12 months, it is 49,500, which would be 44,550. If you're using it for 24 months, then it is 72,000, which would become 64,800. And similarly, for if you're taking for 36 months, then the fee is 90,000 rupees, which would become 81,000. Now, this suppose you are taking for 24 months. Now, because the process of examination is of 1.5 year, है ना, and because of COVID, it has been elongated, so things take time. So, if you are planning, then I should say better go for 2 year. It's not only worth but also very much cost effective. Now, see, after having that 10% discount, what would be having? You would be having around 2,700 rupees per month, and 2,700 rupees per month, that comes out to be around 90 rupees per day. Now, this 90 rupees per day is very, very cost effective, because suppose if you're living at a place like Delhi, I had been there. I had been there 10 years back. And with this amount, this is required only to keep you hydrated in the humid conditions of Delhi, right? Forget about your room rent, forget about your classes, and forget about that food problems and all those problems. They are simply extra. This 90 rupees is simply required only to keep you hydrated in conditions of Delhi. And in this 90 rupees, Unacademy is giving you classes which starts from 7 in the morning and continues till 12 in the night. Any number of batches you can join, because many of the students, they are having that issue that I can join only one batch. No, suppose you are having subscription for 2 year. Now you can enroll into any number of batches which are being run on the platform in that period of 2 years. Okay, चलिए चलिए. So now moving on the topic, today we have to start with the news and analysis of the Hindu of 17 December 2020. Now, see, in today's this particular class, I would not be going into very much details about the today's the Hindu, or what are the various news. In fact, today's class would be largely focused by using some, obviously using some examples from today's the Hindu. This class would be largely focused upon how to make use of current affairs, right? It's not like that unlock one was there. But I've seen many of the students, very unfortunately, that they are simply wasting their energy and time both. Like unlock one was there, unlock 2 was there, similarly unlock 3 was there, unlock 4 was there, unlock 5 was there. Now there is simply no need to learn that what is being opened, what is unopened, what is locked, what is unlocked in unlock 1, unlock 2, 3, 4, 5. For that matter, they are routine type of work. They are simply immaterial to you for UPSC or any civil services examination purpose. Getting my point? So what I want to say that you should focus only on relevant news, because learning capacity of human mind is almost unlimited, but attention paying capacity is very limited. So if you are paying attention to irrelevant news, which is hardly or almost of no use to you in the examination, then it's of no use to going through that newspaper or going through that any piece of current affairs, right? So only go through relevant news. I can tell you, out of any day's newspaper, hardly 10 to 5% of the news is of your interest as far as your CSE or civil services examination is concerned. Here I am including the examination of both UPSC as well as state civil services examination, right? So hardly 10 or 5% of the news is there which you have to concern. So two, three things are there. First, you have to go through only relevant news. And now, how to discriminate between relevant and irrelevant news? That is my responsibility. That I am going to train you in my classes. First is that only relevant news. Second, how to approach a particular news item, because in a particular news, likewise, farmers agitation is going on. Now if you are daily following that farmers agitation, that out of interest, it's okay, but from examination point of view, it's totally irrelevant that you are devoting complete 1 hour to go through that farmer agitation daily, you know. So second thing is how to approach that particular news item. Firstly, that news item must be relevant, and secondly, that relevant news items, how to approach them so that we can gain maximum from that news item in our prelims as well as mains examination, right? So the approach should be that whenever we are going through a news item, so you must know that what type of question can be put up of this topic in your prelims, and what type of question can be there in your mains examination. So I am taking a class of current affairs on platform UPSC app also, that is from 8 to 9, and I am taking a class of current affairs on this YouTube expedition also, that is from your 10 to 10:30. But the difference is, here on application I am covering a whole sum of all the current affairs, whether it is from Indian Express, The Hindu, Press Information Bureau, or some international sources for international news. And here on YouTube I am covering only news from time. Okay, so today's class, so please excuse me for if I am going to miss some of the news items, because today's class is largely about how to approach a newspaper or a news item rather than of covering today's newspaper. That would be starting from tomorrow. Complete news or complete relevant news we would be covering, because as I have told you earlier also, only 10 to 5% of the news is of your interest, of your importance when it comes to your examination, right? Correct. So first news item which we are having is obviously around farmers agitation, but not regular things about farmers agitation, but something new had happened there. What's new? The Supreme Court moves panel for the government and farmer talks. Now see, the way things have been going on, the farmers are agitating. Government is coming for talks, but government is coming with some its own means conditions. Government is coming with its own means own viewpoints, which are simply not accepted by the farmers. Okay. So what farmers are demanding, that first you repeal all these three laws. I am taking that assumption that you are knowing all these three farm laws. So what government is farmers demand is, first you repeal these all these three laws, then we can have a talk. And what government is saying, that laws would not be repealed, although we can reform, although we can make amendments in those laws, and for that we need a talk. So actually the matter have gone to Supreme Court. The matter of these laws was not there. The matter which has gone to Supreme Court was regarding the means to remove the farmers from the highways which they have blocked. So the Supreme Court have mooted, or it has proposed the idea of forming a panel of the leaders of various farm unions, including Bharatiya Kisan Union, to break the grounds between the government and the agitating farmer. So what Supreme Court have said, that there can be a panel which would have the members from the side of government or representatives of the government and the leaders of farmers union. Okay, so on one side, government's representative can be there. On the other side, farmers' unions can be there, and these farmers' union they would be coming from whole of the India because the court says that today it might seem to be a localized issue, but for tomorrow, because the farm laws have would be implemented in whole of the India, so it would become a national issue. So all majority of the farmers' union representing various parts of the country, they should be made a party or they should be made a part of this panel. ठीक है now in this panel there would be deliberations, there would be deliberation and discussion on the side of the government as well as on the side of the farmers so that a solution can be find out, right? Now see, so this is the news. Although your Solicitor General Tushar Mehta had informed the bench led by Chief Justice Mr. Bobde that the government is open to talks, but our farmers are not interested in talks as they are overtaken by the vested political interest. So that is none of our issues. Okay, that is not relevant from the point of view of examination. Now, what is relevant from the point of view of examination is that firstly, a few things are there which I am telling means as I told you, you have to approach a news item from your prelims and mains point of view. Likewise, this farmer agitation. So, whenever you are going through this farmer agitation, then first question which should come to your mind: what type of question can come in prelims from this news item, or is it relevant from mains point of view? If yes, then what type of question can came in mains point of view? In your mains examination. So then only it is going to help you. So, firstly, only 5% of or hardly 10% of daily news is of your interest. Remember this thing, hardly 5%. Two or three news items, except editorial, two or three news items are there which are of your interest from UPSC point of view. Otherwise, totally news is irrelevant for you. You can go through it out of interest. But from as far as your examination point of view is concerned, I don't think they are of much interest. You can go through previous year's paper only, papers also, and my point is justified there. Anyway, so this is the case. Court have asked proposed. Actually, court have proposed the formation of a panel comprising of the representatives of the government and the representatives of the farmer, which would be coming from various farmers unions all over the country. Because court says that for tomorrow, since the farm laws would be implemented in all of the India, for tomorrow it is going to become a national issue. They would have deliberation and then they can find out a solution, because the way things are going on, only deadlock would be there and no solution can be accepted. Although this proposal has been rejected by farmers unions, the agitating farmers, they have already rejected this proposal. Why? Because they say that this panel should have been formed before the farm law. See, uh, to be very genuine or to be very true, there are some issues from the side of government also. Ideally, government should have made a means this panel. They should have discussed farmers, and there was. I personally believe that there was no need of bringing out an ordinance on these subjects. It should have been properly debated in parliament, or means public opinion must have been considered before framing such laws. And at the time of COVID, it was. I don't think it was required at that time. Anyway, now things have been the way they are. Now, what type of questions can be there from this particular thing? Let's see. First, in your prelims. And this I am telling you not only for this topic, for every news item which you are going, just think about that. Put your mind there. Or I am there to tell you. I am taking current affairs at 8 a.m. on your application. I am taking it on YouTube also. But so anywhere any news item came, see. First, all the things which are important for this year. First is all the farmers' movements. All the farmers' movements in your pre-independence India as well as post-independence India. Now, since it is a big agitation, it is a big farmer movement, all of them automatically becomes important for you. Okay, so it might be that three, four statements are there in your prelims. One statement is regarding this farmer movement, rest of the statements are can be regarding past farmer movements. So, which are the various famous farmer movements in your post-independent India, and which are the famous farmer movements or peasant movements, you can say, because in history we read it by the name of peasant movement. And what are the various peasant movements in what your yes, pre-independent India. That automatically becomes important. Secondly, from your prelims point of view, if you see here, I am having shortage of space, so I am moving back. Then, from your prelims point of view, again, what are the various issues faced by farmers in India? Likewise, what is the average? Thank you. Likewise, what is the average farmland which is there in farm, which is there with the farmer? Issues regarding fertilizer subsidy. Then, thirdly, what is the concept of MSP? That is very important, right? What is the concept of MSP that you have to go through? Then, fourthly, various land reforms. Although they are part of your economic syllabus, various land reforms that you have to go. Fifthly, mm, fifthly, political intervention in public movement. Okay, political intervention, public movement, that is also quite relevant. So all these type of questions can be there in your prelims and mains. And particularly for mains, there is one thing which is of exceptional importance, that is comparison. Comparison of farmers movements in India as well as comparison of farmer movements in other countries, because currently farmer agitation is there in Nepal also. So what are the various problems and what can be the various solutions? I think if all these topics you have covered, then either in your prelims or in your mains, any of the question is coming from your farmer movement, you would be able to handle that question in a efficient and effective way. Okay. So this is the issue. This panel has been proposed by the Supreme Court, and let's see. Government will form the panel, how things would work out. Let's see about that. Sorry. Second news item which we are having and which is of our interest for today is that phase 1 trial of Covaxin shows remarkable boost in immunity. Now, this is a very simple news. Covaxin is your proposed vaccine for COVID-19, and it has been developed by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with ICMR or your Indian Council for Medical Research. So, very simple news item is there. Now, what type of questions can be there? First, there are three stages of that trials: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Likewise, I think that Oxford vaccine is already in phase 3. In phase 1, there is a very limited trial based limited number of people in which your vaccine is being tried. In phase 2, that number is increased, and in phase 3, the long term effect of a vaccine in a larger population is being observed, so that the vaccine is safe or not safe. Because basically in vaccine we are injecting some chemicals into body. These chemicals, they can be harmful also. In long term, there can be some undesired outcomes also. So that first we have to see and try, then we can administer vaccine. Okay, so these are three phases, so you must have knowledge about these three phases firstly. Secondly, you must have some basic knowledge about Bharat Biotech because it is producing, it is in news, and also you must have some basic knowledge about ICMR. So out of these 375 participants on which this vaccine was tried, one adverse result was there, means one some side effects were there, but the side effects are not related with COVID and they are not related with this vaccine. They are related to some other physiological and biological condition. So up till now, we can consider that this vaccine is safe. Third news item, which is of quite interest today, is that Union Cabinet under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi has cleared the auction of 2251 megahertz of spectrum, which is expected to fetch 3.9 lakh crores of revenue to the government. Secondly, since this more of a spectrum is open for commercial use, then it will boost 4G connectivity in the country. Now, in this particular regard, I would say two, three type of questions can be there in your prelims. First, since the committee which cleared this proposal is the cabinet is the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. ठीक है. Now this is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, so you must have a first hand knowledge of that, who all are the members, who is appointing this Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, so that you have to see in your polity part. Secondly, which part of spectrum the 4G is using, you know. And thirdly, the policy which is used by the government to auction this spectrum, because this 2G spectrum case was regarding that policy only. No, means on what grounds government is auctioning. So these are the type of question which can be there. See, your prelims UPSC paper. In fact, I personally feel that your state PSC's paper are more difficult to solve than UPSC paper, because your UPSC paper is by and large it is totally predictable. You can predict which type of question, at least those questions which you have to solve in order to clear the. So 60-70% of the paper is predictable. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to think about various aspects of a particular issue or a particular news item that had been there in that particular year. Then thirdly, there is a next news item is, there is improvement in Delhi's air quality today according to Suffer. Now here, first few things you need to know about Delhi's air quality. What is ppm, how much ppm is considered as better air quality, bad air quality, worst air quality, what are the various problems in Delhi, or for that matter in various metros in Delhi regarding air pollution. Then this is given by SAFAR. Now, what is SAFAR? It is a system of air quality and weather forecasting and research. Now, you must know about this SAFAR. Okay. So it comes under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. It is a government body. All these things you have to know. Then the most important news item which I consider in today's The Hindu is that India goes two ranks down in HDI. Now, since India is going down, that means this news item is particularly important for your next prelim. So, our last rank was 129. Our current rank is 131. In fact, only countries like Pakistan, they are below us. Majority of the countries like Sri Lanka, they are performing far better than us. So, what is HDI? It is simply your Human Development Index. Means as a result of your economic growth, how much human development is there in your country. Now, there can be various parameters to measure human development, but HDI measures three parameters only. So, the computed HDI of a country is the average of indexes. Now, what is index? Index is an average of average. You are having some values like 1 to 10. You are calculating the average of these values. Similarly, you are having a different average like 20 to 30. You are having an average of them, and of these averages, you are again getting the average, that is called indexes. So it is the average of indexes of each of the life aspects that are examined. First, knowledge and understanding, for long and healthy life, and acceptable standard of living. So three parameters are there. First is your education, second is your life expectancy, and third is your standard of living. Okay, chaliye. Then moving ahead, the health aspect of HDI is measured by life expectancy as calculated at the time of birth. Means when a child is taking birth in this country, how much we can expect him to live. Normalize so that this component is equal to 0 when life expectancy is 20, that is minimum, and equal to 1 when life expectancy is 85. Now, what type of question can be there? Question in prelims can be, what is the minimum life that is expected in HDI? That is your 20 years. What is the maximum life which is expected in HDI? That is 85 years. Okay, so the minimum marks or minimum average is 0 and maximum is 1. So the countries who are near to 1, they are at the top, and countries who are near to 0, they are at the bottom. Then education is measured on two levels: the mean years of schooling for residents of a country and the expected year of schooling that a child has at an average age for starting school. So one is present, one is future. Okay, means all those who are actually enrolled in the school, how much schooling they are having, and when a child is ready to go to school, then what can be expected for how much years on the average that child would continue in school. And so they are each separately normalized so that 15 mean years of schooling equals 1 and 18 years of expected in schooling equals 1. Okay, so in these two, for this the maximum schooling is 15 and for this one it is 18. So if you in your country schooling of 15 years and expected schooling of 18 years is there, then you would be given 1, otherwise below than 1. ठीक है. Similarly, the standard of living is calculated by the means of gross national income per capita, that is in terms of your purchasing power parity. Now, what is your purchasing power parity? Purchasing power parity simply means that in your currency, how much you can purchase in your country's currency. So it is also normalized that it is equal to 1 when GNI per capita is $75,000 and equal to 0 when GNI per capita is 100. So this is the minimum per capita value which has been taken. This is the maximum per capita value that has been taken. Okay, so final human development index score for each country is calculated as a geometric mean of these three components by taking the cube root of the product. This is not important for you. This you can leave. Okay, so three parameters are being used. First is your life expectancy, in which the minimum was 20 years, maximum was 85. So if you're in a country, it is 20 years, you would be given 0. If it is 85, you would be given 1. Second was your mean years of schooling. So if it was 15 years for those who are actually enrolled, if it was 15 years, then it would be given 1. Less than, then it reduces. Thirdly was your that standard of living. Okay, so minimum it is $20. If you are having this per capita income, then it is 0. If you are having $75,000, if you are having this, you would be getting. Okay, so I think my point is clear. So of these parameters, SDI is calculated. In India, it is low, basically because of on this scale we are not performing very well. Our average life expectancy is around 67 years. Schooling, that is very low, and standard of living, and I think around dollar 35 or 40,000 per capita is income in India. Okay, so our rank is 131, which by any standard or by the standard of growth of our economic growth, we are the fifth largest economy in PPP terms. That is not very unsatisfactory. Now, what can be the reason? Reason can be centralization of income. The fruits of development are there, but the fruits of development are not distributed. So we have distribution in our economy. Okay, so since in this particular class, I will just want to give you a feel that how we would be proceeding on with current affairs, so that you can know that what type of question can be there, and you can I wish to empower you so that you can yourself imagine for tomorrow that, oh, okay, from this news item, firstly, is this relevant or not? And secondly, if it is relevant, then what type of question can be there from this particular news item? Tell you. Now you about your plus subscription that I have already told you. Okay. Now you have iconic subscription. In iconic subscription, you would be having a personal coach. These things are additional. In iconic subscription, you would be having a personal coach, study planner, expert guidelines, main test list. All these things we would be given to you in iconic means subscription. This is the iconic subscription. You can go through it. Chaliye. So thank you very much. Okay. So I'm ending this class today. From tomorrow, we would be dealing in with detail all the news items.